Did you come to Japan by yourself?
I did, but not alone. I have coworkers here, so I'm here visiting for work. So I had another coworker who came before me, and he left today. And then we have a sponsoring company that's got us here because we came in with the business visa. But as I think June 10th today, Japan's now open to tourists.
Oh, yes.
So we're where we were at the very end. So.
How long will you stay in Japan?
I leave tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, but I got here last Friday, so I'll be here a total of 11 days, 8 days or something like that. So, but my colleague was here for almost 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
So,
you are very lucky.
yeah. Yeah.
Can I ask you, what do you do?
Yeah, I work for a tech company. We make smart glass for windows.
Smart glass.
So the glass, it's like polarized glasses. So when the sun hits the glass, it tints. Now we're working on the Kudon Kaikan redevelopment project. So they've leased out the old building to the city, and then they build a nice office skyrise behind it. As part of that, they redeveloped the Kudon Kaikan, and so our glass is on that. So I'm here working on that. Arigato.
はい、すいません。So many.
Yeah, you guys have a little bit of everything for everything. Everything comes in its own little space we eat and drink from. So
Yes.
there you go. Arigato. Thank you.
今度また時でございます。
Cheers.
Nice.
I will say, as an American, I have zero idea what to do with what. So.
Which part of in US?
I live in Washington, D.C.
So
the capital. So. That's good too. But I've lived there for 10 years. But I'm from Colorado originally. Grew up kind of in the Denver area. Moved to DC for work. But I've been to LA and New York, so I prefer New York too. I find LA is very pretty, but it's there's so much more driving. You have to have a car to do everything and a lot of traffic, whereas in New York they have much better public transportation, so you have a lot more freedom to go where you want to, I feel.
What is a famous thing in Washington, D.C.?
Oh, that's the Capitol. So you have the Washington Monument, the White House, the Capitol Building, the Jefferson Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial. So like all the politics, all the politics. But we have a big cherry blossom in the spring, because after World War II, Japan gave the U.S. something like 2,000 cherry trees or something like that. And so they're all planted along the Potomac Basin. So in the spring, we have all our cherry blossoms and stuff.
Yes, I heard.
It's really, really pretty. Yeah, I'd like to come back to Japan in the springtime. When I was here in 2007 in Kyoto, it was right after all the cherry trees were kind of like, all the petals had fallen off and they were just getting green, so I missed like the full bloom. But I'd like to come back and see it again. So.
Where did you go this time? In Tokyo? Just Tokyo?
Just Tokyo. So I've been to Shibuya,
Shibuya.
Right, that's
Yes,
here
yes.
today. I got that one. Shinjuku. I went there and did like what is the Golden Gate?
Golden Gate. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we went to the bars there. I went over, Harajuku today. And then I did Akihabara.
Akihabara.
I did that, and then Ginza is where I'm staying. I did Roppongi. I think those are the big ones. But at least for the neighborhoods, I wandered around, and then I went to the Team Labs, the Boundless. Team Labs is a big interactive arts exhibit. It was really, really cool. And I did let's see, what else have I done? Kaiju Gardens. Those were really pretty. I walked through Chiyoda City area.
Around Imperial House, Imperial Palace.
Yep. And I went to the National Museum of Modern Art, and then, like I said, we're working on the Kudan Kaikan project.
Yes.
And then let's see, I did over in Roppongi. I did the two big museums there.
Do you like museum?
I do. I really like the art museums. So I didn't do much historical stuff, but I really enjoyed.
We went to the Met.
Yes.
In New York, yeah, it's really pretty.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I bought the Met t-shirts.
Oh, nice. Yeah, as you should. There we go. I went to so then the National Art Center in Tokyo, which is also really huge. And then the Suntory Museum of Art. They have this one. Who did all the water?
Outside. Suntory Museum.
Yeah. But then otherwise just working all day.
Did you enjoy?
You guys are very cloudy here. It's a lot cloudier than I thought it would be. It's been really nice. It's a very interesting city. I love that you have all the different levels of transportation. Where you have like the subway, and then you have sidewalks, and then you have the buses, and then on top, bikes and stuff, and then you have the elevated platforms, and then you have the elevated trains, and then you have the bullet trains. It's amazing. If the U.S. could do that too, I think we'd be a happier group of people if we did. Thank you. Okay, these are the croquettes?
Yes.
Oh goodness, okay. Thank you. A little bit of everything. It's a good thing you have such nice large tables for everyone to eat at. I like how...
Feast.
Yeah.
Big feast.
It's a huge feast, yes. But I like how in Japanese culture you have like little things for everything. Like even in the hotel, like there's boxes for all the things, and it's just very, very organized.
Yeah, yes. Close to you. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
This is shrimp, and this is crab.
Shrimp and crab?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a tartar.
Yeah.
You can put this one.
Shishi, you're here teaching me. We'll start with the shrimp then, huh?
Sweet.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. It's very light and fluffy. And the remoulade, right? That's what is the sauce. It's very good.
It's ice.
Can I give you some ice in there? Oh, how funny. Cool it down some. Would you like more tea? Do you like some as well?
Have you ever eaten miso?
I love miso, actually. It's one of my favorites. It's definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, we have quite the feast here.
Yes.
I'm assuming I just drink out of this?
We don't use spoon for miso soup.
You just drink it out of the bowl?
Yes.
In the States, we have the little flat spoons.
Flat spoon.
They look like they're made out of porcelain. They're kind of like...
It's for ramen?
Yeah, like a ramen one, but we'll use that for miso as well. I feel like your TV show is going to turn into teaching Americans how to eat proper in Japanese.
Do you often use chopsticks in the US?
Not often. I mean, if I'm eating Japanese or Chinese or anything like that, or others, I do use them. And then I had a Chinese friend growing up, so I've always been fairly okay with chopsticks. But now you're filming me, so of course I'm gonna be bad. But oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I like them. I think they're pretty great. Yeah. So there's a restaurant in Washington, D.C. called Donburi, and they make the katsudon, and you can get it with fried pork and fried shrimp. And
Fried shrimp.
oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's one of my favorite places. So when I was coming out here, it was on my bucket list of needing to try true Japanese katsudon.
Donburi learned Japanese?
Yeah, it's a little Japanese, and all they have is like katsudon and curry, no sushi or anything like that. It was very small in a tiny little space. So it feels very authentic now that I've been here, but the food is really, really good.
Can I
Sure.
Can I teach me the restaurant's name?
It's called Donburi.
Donburi.
Donburi is the name. So.
Donburi means this.
Donburi means.
Oh, it means the bowl.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's named bowl apparently. I like the sauce that comes with the donburi. I like the seasoning in the rice.
How's the difference between donburi?
Between the two?
Yeah.
In the States, the egg is more raw, just by a little bit, and then they have the pickled gourd they'll do in it, which is always nice to have that like crunch, and then they have like a mustard of sorts, like a cream mustard or something they put with it. So I'm not sure. I probably need to use this one for it, right?
More yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's much more yellow, but it's the same sort of like mustard. But yeah, so the egg's a little bit more runny, and then it's just got a little bit. I always ask for more of the this brown sauce on the bottom. I just think it's so good.
You can try this if you like.
If you like.
What is that one?
Katsudon, but cold.
It's what? It's the cold one? Yeah. Oh, it is really cold. This I've never had.
We have never eaten. We have never eaten.
It's just the fried.
Yes. And what one is
Potato.
potato?
Oh, it's potato? Gotcha. It's very good. I could see this being really nice on like a hot day.
Yeah.
The ice is a little weird. I don't think I've ever had ice in my food before. And drinks, yes. Food, no. Unless it's like ice cream. It's interesting. I find Japanese food when I've gone out with different people. It's either just like very little, like the sushi, like very small little bits and stuff like that, or it's something like this, or ramen, where it's absolutely massive. My colleague and I went out and we got ramen one day. I got the small bowl of ramen, and he got another ramen, but then he got dumplings with it, and it arrived at our table, and we were just like overwhelmed with the amount of food. And there was a table next to us of like two girls and a guy who were younger. They looked like early 20s or something, and we're like trying to eat this, and they're just like annihilating it. They ate all of it, and we were just standing there like jaw dropped of like, we can't even finish our own, and they're these little tiny kids just ate all of it. It's crazy.
What kind of ramen did you eat?
It was very spicy. It was a very spicy ramen.
Nakamoto.
Maybe, yeah. It was very spicy. It was very good though. It was in Roppongi in the near the museum. It was good. It was just an overwhelming amount of food, which is sort of similar to this, where it's like, okay, but it's really good. Notice too, like between American food and your food, like it's, even though it's a lot of food, it's really healthy. Like it's rice and meat, like, and even if things are deep fried, it's not the same as the States, where we have so much like bread in all our stuff and sugar, and our portion size are always really big. So
I've heard that before. US has deep fried butter.
yes, you can do that. Only in the South. Deep fried butter, you can get anything deep fried ice cream, deep fried Oreos, just deep fried dough, just sugar, like a very sweet sugary dough. It's called funnel cake, where it's just like sugar and flour, and then they pour it into hot oil, and they make looks like a bird's nest, and then they pull it out, and then they put powdered sugar on it. So it's so good, but it's just so much sugar. So, but it seems like all the restaurants here, and then everyone walks everywhere. It seems like, you know, everyone's very fit here. I think I've only seen a few people who are maybe possibly like unhealthy, but like that, like 0.05% of the population here seems to have any sort of like weight issue. Do you actually have an issue with like anorexia at all, or bulimia within Japan? Anorexia or bulimia? So anorexia is when you just like don't eat and you just like starve yourself so you can be very skinny. Or bulimia is if you eat food and then you go to the bathroom and you like throw it up. Is that something that happens here in Japan much?
I don't think it's very much. But few people.
Yeah, but not a big issue. Okay, that's good. I noticed too, like within Japanese culture, there's not a lot of like very tight clothes. Like everyone has like loose blouses and loose dresses, and it's not, like, nobody's wearing like skinny shirt, like super tight shirts or tight pants. It seems like it's a much looser sort of like style of clothing.
You can eat all. You can eat all.
You sure? So this is the crab one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really love how you have little spoons for everything. There's a little spoon for this, there's a little spoon for the salt. Like everything has its proper place. It's really nice. I have a friend who her parents are Vietnamese, but she's Canadian. So she lives in Vancouver, and she's one of the only people I know who does like small boxes for everything. Like in her purse, she has a little purse, like smaller bags in her purse for all her things. And then I went to visit her once, and her house is the same way, where she has little compartments for everything. And I think that's very much an Asian trend. In the States, we just sort of, everything is everywhere. So. That's really good.
It's like very creamy.
Yeah. We have the closest thing to this we have in the States would be probably like crab wontons that you can get at Chinese spots, but they're always folded and they're always very crispy, and there's a very small amount of filling. I'll say that about like your cream puffs and like the donut shop, Mr. Donuts or whatever. I got one of those cream donuts there, and it's amazing. It's so much cream and just like a little bit of dough. And the U.S. is different. It's all dough, and like you have to like really bite through most of it to find your little bit of cream. So like I've very much enjoyed the fact that you emphasize on the cream and the filling more so than the dough. Yeah, that's fabulous. That's really good. Yeah. Yeah, I really do love Japanese food. My coworker who was here with me grew up in Texas, but now he lives in Oregon, so the west coast of the U.S., right? And he was really enjoying the Japanese food, of looking at how sushi is prepared as raw food here versus in Mexico. They have a lot of like seafood tartare, except they use citrus to cook it, and they use the acid from just like the lemons and limes, and then you put it all on the fish with onions and cilantro. And yeah, and he was really surprised that wasn't more of like a normal sort of dish out here, given how much like raw like fish you eat in general. That ceviche just wasn't more prevalent. But he really enjoyed all the food as well. So definitely Japan is a cultural hub for good food. One of the differences too I've noticed is here everything's very quiet. Like we're here and we're having a conversation, and there's like two tables over there, but like we can't really hear them. And the music is soft. If you were in the States, it would be so much louder, and you would hear the kitchen clanging and the waitresses and waiters, and just like it's very quiet in Japan all the time. And it's surprising given how big of a city it is. Yeah, because I remember when we went to New York, like you hear the cars, you hear the people, the horns, everything. It's constantly like. But I found Tokyo to be very quiet as a major city, which is nice.
When we went to Los Angeles, many people carried
boombox speaker, yeah.
Very surprised.
It borders on the edge of rude. If they sit there and play it all the time and like really bad songs, then it's rude. Mostly it's annoying, but ideally they're, on your skateboards or whatever, and they're just cruising along and they're taking it with them, so it's something you can hear and they go. But yeah, it can be very loud. We have it's the same thing in cars, where they'll have the music blasting in the car. They pull up and you just listen to them, and like your car is vibrating because it's their car, and you're just like, you're going to be deaf in about like 10 years. Like, I hope you enjoy your hearing while it lasts. And it's definitely, it's a much louder culture, and it's much more of a, people very much want to share their experiences with others, whether or not you want to experience it. It's like with the noise and conversations and stuff like that. Did you guys like any of this? Yeah, please. I'm getting there, but it's also really good, so please enjoy as well. Yeah, I am not a typical American in terms of like I eat a lot. I actually eat very little. I've eaten a ton on this trip, and it's been delicious, but man, I'm very, very full. And it turned out it was pretty good for being made here. But I was in the States, like we don't eat, at least I don't eat rice on a regular basis. Maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that. And then like for beans and stuff like that, I don't eat a lot of beans, but I love the bean paste you guys have, the sweet beans. So good. Yeah. I had like a little pastry.
You can order.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't really have the sweet bean paste in the States. You can get it in like mochi. Yeah. There's mochi at a couple like the grocery stores and stuff like that, and they sell it in boxes. And then we have really nice Asian markets where they'll have a ton of just Asian foods, and they have it there. But that's really about the only place you can get the sweet bean paste is if it's a mochi. But I had like a pastry with it today. I had one of those and what was the name of the neighborhood? Akihabara. When you get out of the metro station, there's a little corner shop, and they have, it's like it's almost like a sweet cracker. It's flat, and then it has like a shape of a fish on it, and then inside of it, it had the sweet bean paste. Yeah, it was so good. It was really good. That was nice to have like the crisp and like it's very easy to eat. It reminded me in the States of, did you ever have Pop-Tarts?
Sorry?
A Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tarts. I don't know.
It's similar where it's a piece of dough that has a filling, and then they usually have a sugar topping on it, much sweeter, much less healthy for you. But it's the same sort of like kind of crispy dough, and then on the inside there's like a sweet paste. So, but it was really good. I think you guys do it better over here. Japan is very clean too. Like walking around, like there's not a lot of trash. And I was walking, there was even a police guard, and he was picking up just sort of like branches that had fallen to like clean up the streets. It seems like everyone is very conscious about the beauty of the area, and it's really nice to see. We don't necessarily have that same love and respect of our cities in the States. Also, we don't do little wet wipes in the States beforehand. So my colleague had to ask the other night when we went at dinner, like, when is the appropriate time to use it? Because you just get food, like, you never get the little wet wipes. But these are really nice. But there's also what I've noticed, too, is, like, once you're done with it, like, I've noticed everyone sort of like folds them back up and like sets them so that they can be reused versus just like dropping them somewhere. So then this is going to be the green tea ice cream?
Yes, green tea ice cream, and it's made from seaweed jelly. Jelly.
It's seaweed jelly?
It's seaweed jelly.
Oh, I've never had this before. A seaweed jelly? Feeling very brave here. Seaweed's something we don't eat in the States ever, unless it's at a Japanese restaurant and you can get like a seaweed salad, or you get the dry seaweed around the sushi, or in miso soup. But otherwise than that, like we would never have.
It's the first time.
This is the first time, so you'll get a real true. We'll see. So we do have green tea ice cream in the States, but it's relatively new in the last couple years. So, but it's good.
Good.
Oh, it's very weird. The texture like falls apart. It's not like Jello where it stays together and sort of like gets softer. It's like when you bite into this, it like segments out into smaller bits. It's very interesting. It's a very different texture. I don't think we have anything like this in the States. I do love the bean paste though. Your vanilla ice cream has a lot more vanilla flavor in it than like the States do.
Okay.
Like this is, you know, it's very, very vanilla-y. It's very good. Very heavy on the vanilla. And then this is the same agar but with coffee.
It's just coffee gel.
Oh, it's just coffee gelatin, so different. Oh, coffee. It's good.
Have you had coffee gel before?
No. No, it tastes like a solid espresso. I feel like I'm chewing my way through a latte. It was very good. I like it.
You can get convenient.
In like a convenience store? Oh.
Jelly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They sell it.
It's really good. And I bet this got caffeine in it too. Caffeine, so like it keeps you awake. Instead of doing espresso at the end of the night, you just do a coffee jelly. Very good. Yeah. I really like Japanese desserts. They're very, very.
Japanese likes jelly a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. Very different types jelly. Yeah.
You can see why. It's fabulous. I like your little wooden spoons. We don't have little wooden spoons.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it. Oh my gosh. I really do. I have not had any bad Japanese food here. All of it has been really good. No, I think Japanese food is amazing, and I love that you can. Everything comes in like the right proportions so that you can enjoy it without feeling like you're wasting it. And like you're still full. Like it's not necessarily like I couldn't eat anymore, and I feel like we didn't eat nearly as much as you would have in America, but like you're still very full. So no, I think you guys have an amazing culture, amazing food selection. So, yeah, of course. I'm glad you guys asked to join me for dinner. This is really nice. Otherwise, I would have just been sitting here alone. So this is great. So wish you guys the best of luck with all your interviews and stuff. So,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.